What's going on, everybody? Pablo here. I'm doing my video from Epic Sports, retail store that me and my partner Jen own in Hamilton, Ontario. Doing these videos. We just started a page. This is my personal YouTube page, but we do have one for Epic Sports. You're going to see me on there too, doing little short videos, other promos and stuff. That's going to be strictly to promote our business, promote our store. We're looking to open up a few of the stores here in Ontario. As you guys know, the next World Cup that's coming, we are part host, right? So our plan is to open a bunch of stores, between here and Toronto, also in Vancouver, where we're going to be hosting some games. So when I'm on Epic Sports YouTube, you're going to hear me talk about soccer, a lot about soccer talk, about jerseys, tracksuits we got coming in. This is my personal page. Why am I doing this video? Everybody's doing videos. I spend a lot of time online now, watching videos, watching people talk, trying to educate myself in different things, and here I am doing the same type of thing for other people. Everybody's promoting what they can do, how they can help, funny videos. It's addictive, man. I've been on TikTok, and sometimes I can't get off TikTok, watching those short videos, the funny ones, some creepy ones. It's crazy. It's insane what people like to watch and what they do. But here I'm talking about what I've studied for like almost 20 years. I started educating myself in stocks and stock options when my first child was born. I got 3 of them now. She's 18. I have another daughter, 17, a son who's 13. So time's flying, man. But I've been educating myself for that long, if you can believe it. And has it been an easy road? No. Live trading, paper trading, all kinds of stuff. It's an ongoing, it's got to be part of your life. You got to, following the markets by itself, you have to do that every day. Educating yourself, all the information that you have access to online is crazy. I mean, there's no excuse for you not to be able to get to where you want to be at a faster pace these days. When I was growing up, I'm 48 now. I remember having the actual first cell phone out there. Isn't that crazy? And when I was a kid, there was no internet. Me and my brother, my cousins, and my friends, we were always outside doing shit, getting into shit. Now, and we had to read books. We were forced to read books. I can't stand reading. I mean, my kids love it, and it's great. I can't get into a book. So I was an athlete, and that's all I ever did. So it made it tough. But now with the internet, I feel it's crazy, how much you can educate yourself on your own, just spending time on there, taking it seriously. One quote that I love, I was on TikTok and I was listening, one of the best boxers of all time, Mike Tyson. He was one of the most exciting. I've never been more excited to watch another sports event other than any soccer game. The only other sports was boxing, only when Mike Tyson was fighting. I'm a big fan of UFC. UFC's awesome. But when Chuck Liddell used to come out when he was a champion, it was just, it was intense, man. I remember being pumped up. It's tough to get that pumped up about something. And those were the days, man. But now, a quote, like I was saying, Mike Tyson says, "Without discipline, you have nothing. Discipline is doing what you hate, but doing it like you love it." And I say that to myself all the time. And I was very disciplined when I was younger, playing soccer, playing at a high level, right? But even with life, with learning, with educating yourself, with trading, with whatever it is you choose to do, you need some kind of discipline. You need structure. You need a plan. And with those things in place, it's hard not to succeed, man. You got to be able to take advantage of all the access you have online. Anyways, enough about that. I'm going to make a lot of videos. I don't want this video to be too long. I tried doing a couple of those shorts videos. Apparently I talk too much. I don't know. And that's funny because when I was younger, I never said much. I was a really, really quiet kid. And it took a lot for me to actually be open and express myself. I had an older brother, 3 older cousins that I looked up to. And I don't know. I think I just didn't want to say much because I didn't want to not fit in, or I didn't want to say something stupid. I kind of put them on a pedestal that it made it hard for me just to be myself, right? That's another thing I want to talk about later on. But so options, stocks, trading, there's unbelievably opportunities out there for you to do crazy things, to make money. I go on YouTube and on TikTok. I also see a lot of people promoting all these side hustles, things you can do to make money, crazy amounts of money, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $1,000 every day. I'm going to talk about those because I've been doing some of them. I follow a couple people. I'm not going to promote them yet because I don't know if these things work or not. I've been taking it day by day, so every day I'm trying something new. Nothing's really panned out so far. Like I said, it's been a couple of days. So part of the success of YouTube and those YouTubers and anybody out there is consistency, right? You can't just put a video, nobody likes you, nobody comments, and you give up after 2 or 3. It's not about that, you know. I mean, you got to give people time to listen to what you're saying, and you know, if they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. But pick somebody, follow somebody. You know, if you want to get into something serious like stocks or trading or sports or whatever, have somebody that you listen to, or somebody that's older than you that's gone through what you're about to go through, and maybe they can help you save some time. Time flies, as you know. Like I just said, I have 3 kids, 18, 17, 13. I don't even know what happened, man. I blinked and they're that old. You know, it's crazy. So stocks, like I said, 18 years ago, I started learning. You know, I didn't actually put real money into the market, not with options anyway. Maybe in the last 5 years, I started to slowly put some money, lost some money, still educating myself. I don't stop. I mean, it's ongoing. There's websites and instructors and people that I follow that I will pass on to you guys. Once you know the basics, you got to know how it works. With discipline, like I talked about before, same thing with trading. I mean, if I start talking about options, you start learning about it, there is 100% going to come a time when you're going to say, fuck it, I don't want to do this. It's too hard. It's too complicated. Everything is tough at first. You know, get over that hump. Keep educating yourself. Don't give up. Do it till it's done, right? Give it a good effort and the results will come. Hard work pays off. I truly believe that. It's been a long road for me. You know, it's been a lot of struggles. Now things are getting better. I'm in a better place, making consistent money, having different areas where I make money coming in. Some stuff I put in a lot of effort, some stuff I don't. You know, you got to play the game. You got to see what works for you, what people are talking about, what people like. And then hopefully you can just take it to the next level, you know, and then maybe, you know, as you go through stuff, you can do these videos and help somebody else maybe get through some of the stuff that gave you problems as you were learning, right? Or just put funny shit out there. I mean, it's crazy. Some people can put all this effort in and other people just do stupid shit and put it on camera and people love it. I go on TikTok and I see all these women and everything, and guys and girls and parents and stuff, they do these dances, and it's great. It's great to be able to see everybody in their own comfort zone, just letting loose. I mean, it's just them and their phone or them and their camera, and they're just being themselves, and people love to see that, and so do I. You know, I can't say I waste a lot of time on TikTok because it puts a smile on my face. You know, it's kind of like a stress relief. And my kids and my friends and people around me, and they see me on, they're like, get off that. And I do, and I see how it takes away some of the time of the day, but you know, if it puts a smile on your face and it's kind of, you know, doing something positive, making you feel good, you know, making you feel emotional because somebody's doing something nice for somebody else or whatever. There's other guy I heard about too. He talks about pursuing happiness as part of life. He says it's not like that, and I believe that. You know, life is just practicing life is going through all the emotions, what he says, going through pain, going through hurt, going through love, going through sadness. I think life is about experiences, so don't think that you have to be happy to enjoy life, or being a part of life is not just being happy. It's going through all the emotions, and I can say I've gone through a lot of fucking emotions over the years, you know, love and hate and sadness, loss, happiness, achievement, being proud of myself, you know, being down on myself, depression. There's crazy stuff that people go through, and you know, it's tough for a lot of people to talk about it. You know, some people feel like they could, you know, when I was younger, I never felt or had somebody that I could really, you know, not talk to about that stuff. You know, it's weird that when I was growing up, you had to be macho, you had to be tough, you had to be, you know, we don't talk about feelings, we don't talk about that kind of stuff. And thinking back, I wish I had that, you know, I never did. I mean, my childhood was great, you know, having my older brother, older cousins, they kind of said, their friends were my friends, their friends looked out for me, so it was great. I would never change anything in my childhood, ever. I think maybe just being able to talk to somebody, you know, that was a big thing. Okay, so before I get into all that and I start getting emotional and stuff, let's talk about stocks and options. Let's talk about making money. What can you do to make money? You know, you got a computer, that's all you need. Wi-Fi and a computer, and you can do crazy shit from your own home, from wherever. All right, so follow me, like me, communicate with me, make comments on my post, and you know, tell me what you want to hear. As I'm talking about stuff, you have questions, I'll do my best to get back to you, and you know, we'll see if you know, I think I'm doing this because I want to, somebody to say, hey man, I tried that and it worked and I'm making money and this is good and thank you for that. That's the best feeling in the world, right? So what is an option? This video is already 10 minutes long. Options is complicated. It's going to take a lot. So I'm not really going to talk about what an option is in this video. Well, all I can tell you is that if you want to get into trading and you want to get into stock trading or futures or currency trading or microcurrencies or crypto or whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. You have crazy amount of information on the internet and you need to just be able to follow the markets, So as you get into this, it's got to be part of your day. So you got to wake up, you got to look at the markets, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, whatever. If you're trading the Canadian currency, right, there's the Toronto market, there's markets all over the place, right? So you need to just be able to wake up. I only trade U.S. companies, so I only trade the U.S. market, the Dow 30, S&P 500, the Nasdaq, like I mentioned, all the big companies, Apple, Google, Tesla, or whatever. I mean, it's all. I don't even pick stocks. Okay, so I don't. When I trade, that's another thing. So there's so much, man. I'm getting all over the place. So I'm going to try and structure this a little better. But you need to tell yourself or ask yourself, are you a trader or are you an investor? People buy stocks and they want to be a part of the company. You own a stock, you're part of that company. You have a say, or you have dividends, money coming in from that, or you're just, if you're an investor and you want to accumulate stocks and have a portfolio of stocks, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that at all. That's a long-term game. Now, if you want to be a trader like me, I'm a trader. I'm there to make money. I don't give a shit what the company does. I don't care, And when I pick companies, or I don't pick companies. Sorry, I have software. I have things that I use that it searches the whole internet or the whole market as to when all the criteria of what I'm looking for fall into place. It pops out the ticker symbols. So I trade those, and sometimes when I trade them, I'm in and out in a day. Sometimes I'm in and out in 2 days or 3 days, sometimes a week, maybe even a month. It doesn't matter. My targets, my software, whatever I use tells me what to trade, when to trade it, how long I'm going to be in the trade, and then I start formulating the trade. But sometimes I don't even know what the company does. I don't even care what the company does. Sometimes it's fundamental information I'm looking at. Sometimes it's technical stuff I'm looking at. Sometimes it's just somebody, saying something, and maybe I'll get into that way. But you need a system, all right? You need a system. You need to know how much money you're willing to spend. You need to know how much of it you should spend. If you have an account of $500 or an account of 500,000, doesn't matter. You need to have a percentage of that where you're going to put in per trade. So I have some rules in place. I know it may seem stupid. I mean, for me, I'm like, I never cared about school, really, when I was younger. I didn't. Like I told you, I played competitive soccer my whole life. I missed so much school because I was traveling the world, So in my mindset, I was an athlete, and there was nothing else that was ever going to change that. When I was younger, I believed that soccer was going to, and it did take me everywhere. I traveled at a young age. Truthfully, when I was like 23, 24, I realized that, there was nothing to look forward to when I was there. I mean, there was Toronto Blizzards, where they didn't get paid that much, but there came a point in time where I had to realize that this is it, man. Soccer is done now, and I need to do something else. And it was tough. So late in the game, when I had to start thinking about stuff, it made life tough for me for a while because I couldn't accept that it was done, So anyways, when I was younger, I didn't care about school. If I got 50, I was happy. I didn't care. I mean, they treated me well. I got certain marks because I was a young kid playing for Team Canada, traveling everywhere in the world, so they supported me. A lot of people did, so students, friends helped me with schoolwork, teachers, principals helped me with marks, helped me with schoolwork too, and realize that, it's an athlete. He's doing well. We can't just, cripple him this way because he's doing so good that way, so they helped me. So I had a lot of people, I had a good support, and it was good back then. Right. But I never liked to read. I never liked to put in the work to get those marks, and I wish, and that was not, the work ethic I had was physical, was, competitive, on the field, and that for certain things like working out or when I'm playing any other sport, doesn't matter what it is, or playing video games, I'm competitive as shit. I don't ever want to lose. I don't care who I'm playing against. I want to win every time, but anyway, so the markets. And what you need to do daily is just follow it, see why the markets are up, why the markets are down, what moves the market. That's one thing you need to know. I mean, basically There's earnings reports, which comes out, every so often. It kind of seems to just always ongoing because there's so many companies that once it ends, not too long after, it's going to start up again, right? So those are big ones that move markets. Any type of tragedy, or things that are going around the world. Russia, the war, what's happening there. If a cruise ship sinks, what does that do for the company? It hurts it, right? Plane crashes, things happen, and it affects the market. The Fed and everything, and they have meetings, and so you need to know why markets move and why they move up, why they move down. If you have a general idea of that, then you can work with that. If you think that the market's going up or for an uptrend, don't take trades that are going on the opposite way, because when you're trading, it doesn't matter if it's stocks or if it's options, you can trade it because you think the market's going to go up. You can trade it because you think the markets are going to go down. You can trade it because you think the markets are going to be in the trading range for a little while. And you can make money in all those ways, but you need to have a general idea of why the markets are moving or why they're not moving. Or, IPOs, like new companies that are coming out there. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so you can get overwhelmed and not want to do any of it because you feel like it's too much. Or you can kind of just, structure yourself. That's what I'm trying to help you. I'm not going to tell you crazy amount of stuff about options right now because it's too early. You need to know about the markets. Okay, I can only tell you about the American market, really. I mean, in the markets everywhere. The, what's it called? The Nikkei or whatever, Japan. Any of those countries, they all affect each other as well, right? Sometimes if the markets are down abroad, they're going to be down over here. Or some things work opposite of, or they're supposed to work opposite of what the markets are doing, right? You see money filtering into the bond market. That means people are nervous about the stock market. They move in their money to the bond market, cryptocurrencies. People are moving money. You can actually see that money move into the market or out of the market. Those are little tells that what's happening or what's not happening or what's about to happen, right? So if you can get that general idea, and it's not hard, it's not crazy hard anyway, don't overwhelm yourself with reading companies, all their sales and revenue and projections and all that stuff. I mean, you have earnings reports that generally tell you what's happening, but don't spend too much, unless you're an investor. If you want to be an investor, go follow somebody else, because I'm not an investor, man. I don't know those long-term. I don't want my money later. I want it now. You want it in 10 years, you want it in 10 days, right? So figure out what you can do both. Nothing wrong with that at all. As you're older, you should be more of a trader, unless you're already establishing yourself as an investor and you've been accumulating shares over the years, right? So it's not what I do. I'm a trader. I want to make money. I don't want to be a part of the company. I just want a piece of the company, And that means the money that it can get for me or that I can get out of that company. All right, so follow the markets, just the American markets. You want to do something else? I know quite a bit about cryptocurrencies. I've been doing that. I follow a lot of people, which I'm not gonna promote anybody right now until you get the basics of what's going on, until I get people who are following me. Once I get a good amount of followers, then I'm gonna start helping those people, pointing them in the right direction so they can bypass all the bullshit that I went through or that's out there. Some people who are promoting stuff, and it's just to promote the stuff, not really that they're knowledgeable about it. I remember calling my broker. I have a broker. I have a couple of accounts, but I remember calling my broker, and these are the brokers, people I call to do my trades. Sometimes I used to do my trades over the phone. I'd call them and say, "This is what I want to do," right? And then, as I was educating myself and I follow people, they told me that, and if you really think about it, if somebody's picking up the phone at a brokerage, why are they picking up the phone? Because they're not traders. I started asking these guys basic questions, about stuff that they should know if they're traders, if they should know if they're making money trading stocks, and they couldn't give me an answer. So I stopped calling, obviously, right, and asking them basic questions. I started educating myself, and now I do everything automated. Emotions is another thing that you got to try and take away out of trading, because it's the hardest thing to do is to take a loss, accept a loss, realize that, hey, you got to cut and run, right? That's the hardest thing for me to do, or was for me to do, and I think for most people. You lose a little bit and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to stay in for a little bit longer. Then you come to the point where, fuck, it's not even worth selling now. Now I'm just, whatever happens, right? You do that, you're going to be out without money in no time. All right, you got to have a structure, you got to have a plan, follow that. And the good thing about that is, taking the emotion out, you can actually, when you put on a trade, you can actually set the trade, and then you can tell the trade, if I'm up a certain percentage, I'm out automatically. You don't have to do anything. You're done when you put that trade on. And on the opposite end, you can say, hey, if I'm down 50%, I'm out. It doesn't matter. And you can have those stops and have those profit-taking strategies, or whatever the percentage is on the way up. Or if you're losing money, you set that at your trade, at the beginning of the trade. So once it's there, it's there. Now you're going to hear, now I'm telling you that because beginners need to do that. You have to do that. Now, if you talk to professional traders, they very rarely put stops on, but it's because they're on front of their computer all the time, and they've been doing this for a long time. Because sometimes market makers, I mean, this is a lot. I mean, I keep jumping back. Market makers control the price of stocks, and sometimes when you put a market order or when you put stuff out there, they see it, so they can bring the price down, collect your money because you're out, because you set that stop, and then boom, it goes back up, and you're going to see that, right? So you're going to get stopped out, and then you're going to see a stock go 10 times higher and do what you wanted it to do originally. Right, so there's a fine line of what you have to do, and it's going to take a little bit of educating yourself, listening to somebody like me. There's a lot of other people out there. Pick somebody you want to follow, somebody that's casual, somebody that just talks to you, right? I mean, there's some people that I used to follow, but they were too professional, too technical, I felt like they were not being themselves. They were just, trying to put a show almost, right? And then I started following other people who were just sitting in the front of the computer or on their phone and just talking, casually like this, you know what I mean? And those are the people that I followed. Those are the people that I clicked with. And I found that those are the people that gave me the best information. They weren't trying to really get anything out of it. I'm not trying to get anything out of this really, other than talking about it helps me educate myself, right? The more questions I have, the more I'm going to be thinking about what you're talking about. And sometimes it's good to go back to the basics, right? So people do it for different reasons. Yeah, it's a YouTube channel. Yeah, if I get followers, you can make money that way. Yeah, 100%. And if it happens for me, great. Why wouldn't it? And if it happens for me, it can happen for you too. And it doesn't have to be about trading. It can be about anything. You could be talking about nothing. You could be talking about paint, or about t-shirts, about whatever, right? The bottom line is people like you, people follow you, you help people out. They're gonna create something where you have like a group, a following group that you can kind of help and maybe, expand your education. Maybe you're going to be learning stuff from other people too, right? So anyways, 22 minutes this video. You see why I can't make a short video? I didn't really even get into details about stocks or about options. I'm just trying to give you an idea of me and what I've gone through and what I plan to do, and what I'm doing here, why I'm making these videos. So please follow me, like this video, check me out. I'm also going to be posting stuff that I've seen on TikTok and YouTube, just stuff that I like. I'm going to filter through my thing, and then you can follow those people too, or you can click on their videos. I mean, it's a whole network where you can pump each other up, and help each other and pass on the videos to other people, right? So I'm going to try and do a video every day. I'm going to try and do it at least maybe some short videos if I can manage to talk less, and because those shorts are like 60 seconds or 30 seconds or 15 seconds. I mean, that's not a lot of time, right? Those are, anyways, so I'm going to try and do some of those. But Epic Events is a company that I own, Epic Sports, or me and my partner, Jen. Epic Sports is a retail, actually brick and mortar place that we have here in Hamilton and in Oakville, opening up a lot more, talking about a lot of stuff, and whatever. If you guys look, if there's certain topics you guys want to know about, ask, comment on it, like this, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, appreciate the time. Thank you.